Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I am Steve013, and welcome to yet another episode of On the Sofa, the interview show where I talk to someone who has someone that is a creative individual creating content, whether it be artwork, whether it be songs, whether it be videos, whether it be a website, a blog, whatever it is. We get them on the show, we investigate their minds, and we try to basically learn more about them. And on this episode, we have someone that I would dare say, in both seasons 1 and 2, could make the claim that they are the single most requested interview. Now, this guy I've spoken to on a few occasions. He is an awesome guy. He's very talented. He's very eloquent in his speech, I think. He's a lot of fun. His live streams are a high quality, and his artwork matches that level of quality, in my opinion. He just also happens to be a fellow countryman, and he's a mystery. He's a mystery and an enigma and a puzzle and a bloody Rubik's Cube made of all the same colours. It's insane. He is none other than, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Libra! Libra, how you doing? How you doing, Libra?
Good, thank you.
Yes, and thankfully your microphone is working. We have had issues in the past, but it's being held together by the most technological of means right now. You know,
Staples.
Yes. So I suppose the first question is it Libra Hedgie, Libra the Hedgehog, just Libra, Clint?
Depends on... It generally just shortened to Libra, but account-wise, it started on DeviantArt with Libra the Hedgehog, slightly misspelt.
It's all cool. So,
and then shortened and everything else.
So do you have one that you particularly prefer to be referred to by, or is it just whatever people fancy, really?
Whatever people fancy. Doesn't bother me.
Alright. Well, we'll stick with Libra for the interview, if that's okay with you, dude.
Yep.
The first thing I kind of want to ask is, there have been a lot of people asking me to interview you. Like, when I go into a stream, or and you've seen it yourself, I'll go into a stream, and I'll say, and I'll ask as well on the show, who do you want to see interviewed? And the consensus generally is Libra.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say that a lot of the reason comes from the fact that you are quite a quiet individual. You kind of speak... I would say you have a tendency that when you speak, you have something to say, as opposed to people who will just generally chatter away about nothing. Do you think that's... I mean, how do you feel about the fact that you are the guy that everyone said, we want to hear an interview with this guy?
I don't know, really. I guess surprised, maybe?
Are you aware of that kind of quiet nature, or do you think it's a perception that only really exists online?
No, it is sort of true in real life.
So you consider yourself a guy that kind of, like, he speaks when he has a point to say, or is it kind of a shyness thing, would you say, or is it a mixture of the two?
A mix of the two, really. I mean, it sort of depends on... If I have something to say, I'll say it, and if I get along with people, I'll speak with them.
Oh, I think that's fair comment. I used to be the same myself. So let's learn a little bit more about you. Would it be okay to ask how old you are?
Yeah, sure.
So how old are you?
16.
16. And are you currently doing GCSEs then?
Yep.
Alright, how are they going?
Quite good, I suppose. I mean, I got my maths mock results, like not the actual ones, but practice, and I got an A3.
Well, so do you. Wow, okay. Maths is a subject that you enjoy?
No. Well, I want to get over it and done with, which is why I'm glad I'm doing the actual exam in November.
Yeah. But is there a subject that you're enjoying doing at the moment?
Obviously.
Yeah.
And history.
Oh, okay. Is there a particular aspect of history that appeals to you, or is it just kind of like a general subject for you?
It used to be years ago Egyptology.
Oh, wow.
But more general nowadays.
Fair enough. So, Studying GCSEs right now, obviously in the UK, the GCSEs have been a kind of a big thing with the government. On the one hand, you've got one side of the government saying the tests need to be easier, you've got the other side saying we're being too easy on kids and all jazz. For you, how are you dealing with the stresses of GCSE? Is it something you're finding you're dealing with okay? Is it stressful? Is it too stressful? Or do you find yourself just kind of going, and you're just kind of getting on with it?
I sort of get on, but it is sort of a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of homework set, and sometimes it's too much because it overlaps.
And every bloomin' teacher reckons that their subject is more important than the other ones.
Yeah.
Do you tend to find that with art, primarily?
Art moans a lot about other subjects eating into it, same with history. But then all the other subjects moan when other things eat into their ones, so... Yeah.
I remember back when I was at school, back in year 9, so obviously a year before, because back then GCSEs didn't start until year 10, whereas recently they've been starting in like year 9 in certain places. At my old school, they started GCSEs in year 9, which I think is ridiculous, but I remember back in year 9, the year before GCSEs, was the last year I did art, thank God. And my art teacher was always saying, this is the most important subject, it's the freedom of expression, at which point I pointed out, well, what about literature, poetry? He says, that's not real art, which I always felt offended by, but I always felt like art, people, like teachers who teach art, see their subject as kind of like the most important thing ever. I mean, do you find teachers have, like, not necessarily your art teacher, but do you think teachers have that particular attitude with the school you go to?
Yeah, especially with things like science.
Oh yeah, science is a bitch. It's awesome, but it's a bitch and a half.
Yeah, and they make people write a compulsory catch-up and stuff.
Okay, well, let's talk about something that it's a passion that you and I both share, and I would say it's something that I thought I was close to being an expert in, and then I met you, very happily so. And that's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yep.
Sonic the Hedgehog, I can tell you, for me, has been around since the early days of my childhood, and it's something that I fell in love with, especially when it got to Sonic the comic, though I didn't follow the Archie comics. So I followed the storyline where Super Sonic was a villain, and all Robotnik was born of Dr. Ivo Kinterborn and egg and all jazz. For you, how did you and Sonic come together?
Well, it was one of my first GameCube games, because that was my first ever console, the Nintendo GameCube. And my first game, one of the first games of it was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Oh yes.
And then Sonic Heroes, and I sort of fell in love with it there. So for me, it's sort of the game continuity.
Did you ever play the Mega Drive version? Obviously, for anyone listening, Mega Drive is known as the Genesis in America, I believe.
Yeah, only the remakes for GameCube, obviously.
Oh, fair enough.
Mega Drive had long gone by the time of 2002, 2003.
Yours might have.
Yes.
I think I retired mine in 2007.
Yeah, I mean, selling.
Oh yeah, obviously they stopped selling the games. I mean, what's your opinion on the franchise of Sonic now? Because I think the last atrocity that we had with Sonic was the Werehog.
My opinion is not so much bad gameplay, but bad implementation.
So you reckon they had a good idea, but the execution was terrible?
Yeah, it was sort of executed badly and could have been done better. Like Sonic Hedgehog for the PS3 and things. I feel that the story of that could also have been better, but it was a rushed game because they were sort of forced to have it out for the holiday season.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I had, because I played it once and I was like, yeah, whatever. It was no different to any other bad game. But my biggest contention was the name, Werehog, because were comes like the meaning man, So it's like saying it, but it's not half man, half hog. It's half wolf, half hedgehog. So that was obviously me being right. I'm going to bitch about that. But Sonic has had so many different games. It's had so many different it's had so many different representations in the television world as well. Now you've had Sonic, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Sat-Am, Sonic Underground, and Sonic X. If I'm missing one, I'd apologise. I think there might... which one?
The Sonic the Hedgehog OVA.
Oh, yes, of course. I always forget that one. Let's look at Sonic Adventures for a moment. Sonic Adventures gets a lot of criticism these days, I feel, but I still think it was kind of cool. What are your thoughts on the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I liked it. It was sort of funny, goofy.
Well, it's a cartoon. It's meant to be goofy. I mean, I love Scratch and Grounder.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean,
I agree. It was fun and it made sense with the story.
Yeah. I mean, you would often find editing issues stuff like that, but the only thing I actually ever found annoying with that was Scratch's laugh. That ha 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 ha, just like ah. But I love Grounder's voice, like, "Hey, where's Sonic?" And but then of course the world got Sonic Sat-Am, which was obviously Saturday morning cartoons said Sat-Am.
Yep.
That I don't think anyone was expecting that.
No, it was a big change to the sort of series and the ideas.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dr. Robotnik suddenly became this really terrifying force, and I think he became someone more in common with the comics I had read. And that Robotnik, I mean, when you first saw the Robotnik in that, I mean, what was your reaction? Can you remember that far back?
Obviously I didn't grow up with Sat-Am, but
So you watch it retroactively?
yeah,
All
it
right.
was sort of on GMTV in the mornings,
Oh yeah.
and on ITV, and I sort of watched it through that, and it was very different to my usual image.
Yeah, I kind of felt that when they went to Sonic Underground, it was kind of like, this is how you do Sonic Sat-Am wrong.
I didn't mind Underground for the fun factor and the opening theme.
Yeah, Sonic Underground. That's absolutely fantastic. I haven't got a copy of that song. I've got a copy of Fastest Thing Alive. I should probably get it to the ground. Then we have Sonic X.
I love that one, because it was the closest to the continuity of the games, which I'd grown up with more often.
Yeah. So, with Sonic X, do you feel like they got the feel of Sonic right?
Overall, yes. It could have been better. For example, not having them warp between worlds and just having them within a world where humans and obviously anthropomorphic characters existed in the games, but the sort of concept was there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was an interesting idea to have it actually on Earth and use warping to explain why that happened. Could they have done that show on a different version of Mobius? And as I said, like, have a Mobius where humans just happen to exist in there, and it's just a world of anthropomorphic creatures as well as more human-like creatures.
That would have worked, because that would have made it less shocking and sort of less...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember which game it was, but wasn't there a game where there was a princess who is human? Was that set on Earth, or was it set on another planet, or what?
Oh, that's the 2006 Sonic Hedgehog for the PS3. That is set on Mobius. It's just set within a whole city full of people.
Yeah, so they've already so it is possible to have a Mobius with both anthropomorphic and pure humanoid creatures. So
yeah,
I think I agree with you. I would rather have had something like that. So at what point did your love of Sonic translate into fan art?
Oh. Sort of watching the program and making characters to add to the story.
Yeah.
And then what I used to do was, many people say they drew comics or whatever. I drew out scenes of a story.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking back to DeviantArt here, and obviously I look at people's stats and look at people's galleries and their works before I interview them. What I like is you joined DeviantArt on September 18th, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had an account for 3 years, and the same day you uploaded works at DeviantArt, your very first one being Libra Starry Sky. Yeah. So, with Libra Starry Sky, I mean, I like the fact as well, it says first submission, please be nice. You always have that concern about the first submission. I think it's a really good job. It looks...
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was really old.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're talking 3 years old at this point. In fact, it'll be 3 years and a month on Friday, yeah. So what was going through your mind when you posted... Obviously, you joined DeviantArt and you posted that first deviation. What was going through your mind?
It was basically the idea that I wanted people that knew what they were talking about looking at my art and telling me how I could improve.
Well, I can honestly say, I mean, here's the thing. We always say on the show, DeviantArt stats, what are they good for? I have a bit of an interest in them, and I've been looking at yours, and I have to say, they're pretty cool. I mean, you've been on DeviantArt for 1,126 days.
Mm.
Been there a while, sir. Now, your profile, this is what I always find weird. People give a damn about their page view counts, which I don't understand why. I mean, you've got 10,790. This was done last night, by the way, so the numbers will have changed by then. But this was done last night. It's 10,790 page views, which is fantastic, in my opinion. But your deviations themselves, so just looking at your deviations, 45,326.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I knew I got a lot of views, because I always get messages saying so-and-so has favorited.
Yeah. But that's 45,326 times your artwork's been viewed.
Blimey.
And you have 170 deviations, so that's obviously not including like journals and stuff. 170 deviations. You have received 1,411 faves. Yeah. So basically how that translates to is you get just over 8 faves per deviation, which is about 1.25 faves per day, by the way. But you're getting over 266 views per deviation on average.
Blimey.
Yeah. Yeah, people like your work, man.
That's quite cool.
And those are true figures, and you can look them up yourself, dude. You know,
Yeah.
Those are really cool figures to have. And I can tell you, by the way, that you get just over 40 views per day on average for your just for your deviations.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in a 24-hour period, you're getting an average of 40 views, which is pretty damn cool. You've been on... I mean, a lot of people tend not to really notice this because statistics have become this thing where they're almost a kind of a joke because there are so many people desperate to get page views. But if you take the page views out of it and you look at that deviation view count, 45,000. I mean, hearing that kind of a figure, how does that kind of make you feel about it?
Stunned. I didn't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, I take it you're not a person that tends to look at your stats anyway.
No.
So what to you? What is DeviantArt?
I guess a place to meet people that do art themselves and sort of share a continuity, a community with people.
And so you joined 3 years ago. So you've seen a few of the changes that DeviantArt have gone through.
Yeah.
I would say that they've probably gone through a lot of a lot of small changes
Yeah.
over a short period of time.
Ups and downs.
The biggest controversy right now, and it's weird that we're even calling it a controversy, is the symbol situation.
Yeah, I have to admit I don't like them. I prefer the smaller, older ones that made more sense.
Well, what the biggest controversy that's happened is Heidi on DeviantArt posted an article about the symbols, and there was certain phrasing within it that's, pissed a lot of people off, and that is, she goes on for ages to explain how the symbol thing evolved, and how people got equals and asterisks and tildes and whatever. Yet they never really explained why they have the new symbol system. What's more, they ended up at a problem they originally had in the past, where they were smart enough to avoid it in the first place, and that problem is people who don't have a premium membership.
Don't have premium membership or have nothing.
Yeah. Now, personally, I'm cool because I've got this horrible tramp stamp star that I would love to get rid of. But is that a massive fail? I mean, the symbol shouldn't have any value anyway, but is this not a massive failing on DeviantArt's part?
Yeah, it bothers me because it makes the username on its own look bland. Because there's nothing to distinguish it from other ones that have no symbol.
In the past, obviously, you'd have, for you, it would be like a tilde or something, like the little squiggly line to say that, this person's a member of DeviantArt,
Yeah.
It doesn't draw out, but now that you don't have a symbol at all, it just seems kind of like leaving people out.
Yeah, it seems redundant and stupid.
But there's a quote that everyone's been upset by when it comes to Heidi is when in her article she has an entire section called "Keeping the Lights On," and pretty much what they say is if you have a star symbol next to your username, you should be proud because you are helping keep DeviantArt on track to the future. Premium memberships offer the single pure side of support we have to work with, and we couldn't be more grateful for the contributions of each and every premium member. And before that, she was talking about how the main financial income and support for DeviantArt is the premium membership system. Here's the problem. Not everyone that has a premium membership bought it.
Yeah, some people are gifted it, like you yourself to Atari.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to mention, but yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Sorry,
no, it's not an offence or anything. It's just like I tend not to, I tend not to brag about such things. But yeah, I mean, we've all helped somebody out before. It's like if you go into a shop, you buy something. It may not be necessarily for yourself, but you're buying something. So obviously, I mean, I have no problem with DeviantArt saying, "Oh yeah, it's cool." You guys are supporting us financially. That's not a problem, but then
The fact that it's 9% they're the only support.
Yeah, I mean, this idea of, if you have a premium membership, you're supporting us. How? Surely it's the person who bought it. So what's happening is people like yourself, because you don't have a premium membership at the moment, so your DeviantArt's kind of singling you out in comparison to me that does have one. But it's like, well, how is that fair?
Yeah, it's not. It's really.
It's absolutely. In your opinion, should DeviantArt, which would be a smarter choice, to A, consider going back to the old system, or B, develop a new symbol for users that don't have a premium membership?
While I'd prefer the older system, if they're going to stick with the new one, they should make a new symbol for those without premium membership.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I've heard some good ideas. Lorna Wolf has some pretty good ideas, I've heard. One idea I wouldn't mind seeing, maybe just a little DeviantArt man, little dev man. But I suppose the problem is what people. There's a risk of people liking that symbol more than the premium membership one, and there are some people who will buy subscriptions just to change the symbol. But did you see what one of the big changes is? You remember seeing accounts that used to be till hell freezes over for the premium memberships?
Nope, never seen them before.
Well, basically what it is, like, staff members would have them. Like, subscribed until...
the little
yeah.
dollar sign.
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Well, you're basically...
Or
if
the
you...
little... Not like a speech marker, but the
No,
little dash.
oh, sorry, just put that. But no, I mean, most staff members would have this status because you go on somebody's profile page and you can see if they're a premium member or not, and it'll tell you how long they're a premium member for. Which, by the way, I don't think is a good thing. But some people would have it stated as until Hell Freeze is over, and that would be staff members or special people who DeviantArt have gifted essentially a permanent subscription base to, right? You can now buy it, and what it does, it gives you all the premiership benefit for 7 years.
Wow, that's a bit odd.
Yeah, and there are two theories going round as to why. One of them is that that's the average lifespan of an active user. Like in 7 years, on average, after 7 years, they stop being active. The other theory is the 7 circles of hell. But what do you think of all these changes happening to DeviantArt right now? Do you think DeviantArt is moving in the right direction?
Some things, and yes, some no. I think these symbols possibly not, and things like the more like this system when it was first implemented, just no, it was terrible.
Yeah, we've spoken on past episodes of On the Sofa about the undiscovered feature, where it brings up deviations that may not have been discovered, but the people who own them are famous, almost. So, yeah.
That's really silly.
Has DeviantArt lost has DeviantArt lost what it means to be a community? Not the people of DeviantArt, but the people running it. Have they lost touch with the idea of community?
I think maybe they're all more concerned with the corporateness of the business of it, rather than the idea that it's a place for art.
Last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of DeviantArt, and we're going to end this section on a positive note. I want to talk about your most popular deviation in terms of its views and in terms of its favourites.
Which one?
Well, it has 81 favourites and it has 2,531 views. And that is Son Amy Kingdom Hearts style.
Ah, that one. That one's really old. I wish I could change that.
Yeah, that was posted on September 21st, 2010. So obviously it's been around for a while. You know, it was posted 3 days after you joined DeviantArt. But it's something that has gained popularity over time. And I think for its style, it still holds up today. So, in regards to that, you know, and obviously... like I said, it's been around for quite a while. My question would be, have you ever considered going back and redoing old deviations again in your more modern style? Because obviously everyone kind of improves over time. So have you ever considered going back and redoing older versions to see how you could do them today?
I have, I think... I have one deviation that is one of those memes of the draw this again, which was something, that I'd never posted anyway, but I have the ones like that Son Amy Kingdom Hearts style, and my actual sort of fan character, original character story on DeviantArt, I'm actually in the process of rewriting.
Oh, very nice.
Because the quality is terrible, and I know I can do better.
Alright. Well, like I said, I continue to enjoy the stuff you post on DeviantArt, and I look forward to seeing the new works. But let's take a break from the DeviantArt side of things, and let's move away from the art for a moment, just to get us away from the horribleness of the tumultuous times of DeviantArt. I'm going to ask you a questionnaire that was first developed by Bernard Pivot on Bouillon de Culture. It was made more popular by Inside the Actor Studio. It's just 10 questions. And just be as honest as you like. The first question is, what's your favourite word?
What? I say that word a lot.
What is your least favourite word?
The F word.
Fair enough.
because it just
Yeah.
even when I say it, I don't like saying it.
Ah, that's perfectly fine, and I'll be sure not to say it on this call if I haven't already. What turns you on, either creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? So, what turns you on in any of those regards?
Looking at other people's work and thinking, you know what I can do? If I stretch myself, I can do that. And music is a big inspiration.
And on a similar vein, what turns you off?
Oh, just artist block in general, and maybe if I myself am feeling down.
Yeah, so your emotions play a big part of it.
Yeah,
Alright.
definitely.
You don't have to say it, you can refer to it euphemistically, but what is your favourite curse word?
Begin with B. Like, rhymes with...
Is it B-I or B-A?
No, B-U.
B-U. Oh!
Yeah.
As in a bit like a burger.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. What sound or noise do you love?
Sound of a violin. I love the violin.
Oh, very nice. You have any particular favourites? Or particular track?
No, not really, just generally, and
So do you
maybe the tracks my friend has played and sent me because he's recorded it.
Alright, so do you prefer like a softer, slower kind of melody, or prefer like high pace, fast, or is it just whatever at the time?
Don't mind. I like both sort of the slow ones and like the sort of Irishy jig ones.
Oh, fantastic. What sound or noise do you hate?
Loud banging, like hammers and nails.
With
Hate. It hurts the ears.
Okay. What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt? So any profession, like job, would you like to attempt that you haven't already done?
Maybe archaeologist.
And
Because
yeah.
that goes back to my sort of Egyptology thing.
Absolutely. That'd be fun. What profession would you never like to try?
Politics or science teacher.
It's just like politics or science teacher, because they're like on the same kind of vein. Politics is a horrible. I think you're too. I think you've got too much of a good heart to be in politics. And as for science, you're not cruel enough when it comes to homework. So, last question in this is: if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done.
I like
well done.
that. I like that. That's actually really sweet. God, I mean, you get me all feels now. Let's talk about YouTube.
Okay.
Now, YouTube. I was actually very surprised when I was checking out your YouTube account.
Yeah, I joined on August 15th of 2008 or 9.
2009. Yes. he says, looking at his documents, going.
No, I just know the day because the actual date, August 15th, is part of a song that I really like in Japanese, and I know how to say August 15th in Japanese thanks to them.
Oh, how do you say it?
Hachigatsu Konichi.
Well, I'm not repeating that. Like, I've been banned from speaking Japanese. Yeah, I was really surprised because I check out your live streams, I check out your DeviantArt. It's like, oh, these are really good, and then I go to
they're really recent, and then YouTube's old.
Yeah, I mean, I go to YouTube. I look 2009. All right, let's see how many. And you got 10 videos on your account. Now, obviously, that's not a bad thing at all. I'm not saying that is. It was just really surprising to find that you've got 10 videos. Is that because you've only kind of like uploaded 10, or have you deleted some, or?
I've only ever uploaded those 10.
Wow, I mean, I'm looking at your statistics, and I was really surprised. And I'm looking to get a little bit more into the mindset, because obviously there's a lot of people that post videos every you know, every week, every other day. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I mean, the Studio 3 channel, I'm posting like songs and shit all the time. You know, because I'm a massive attention whore. But you know, but you got artists who schedule it so they can post one video a week. You got some people that do it once every 2 weeks. Some people just do it every time they're doing a live stream. You've posted 10 videos, which means that you're posting a video on average every 3 months, 4 weeks, 1 day, 2 hours, and 24 minutes. So just get a little clock, just right, time for the next one. You know. Now you've been on you've been on YouTube for 1,211 days. So about, you know, less than 100 days more than. So you've been on quite a long time. I might actually have that count. No, sorry, your oldest video. Sorry, Stephen. That's what happens when I don't make clear enough notes. Since your first video, you've posted. It's been 1,211 days. So you joined on August 15th, 2009. Your first video
was posted in 2010.
Yeah, I mean, did you just have a YouTube account for like watching videos and stuff originally?
Yeah,
or,
pretty much.
So it's been 1,211 days since you posted your first video. Your first video being, I believe, the Sonic Tribute video.
Yeah, and it's also my highest viewed with something like 700 and something.
777.
That was it, I knew it.
Yes, the Las Vegas special, 777. Yeah, and again, what I love, my first video, be nice, I'm new to making vids, and I love the fact that you're humble about it. I watched the video. It even has a comment on it from the Supersonic Madness. Nice tribute, Libra. Not bad for the first video. By the way, it's made from DA, in case you're wondering. That's him, not me, obviously. Yeah. It's like, we've known each other all along. But yeah, I mean, you know, what I love about it is it's like, because sometimes it can be hard looking back at people's work, especially if you're going to interview them. And with you, I'm able to watch every single video. And my question is, when you go to upload a video, are you very, very, very picky about what you post up? Or is YouTube not as big a priority to you? Or how do you approach YouTube in terms of uploading content?
Right now, it's not a large priority. One, because of school, and two, because it takes a bit to set up, because I'm debating on using a webcam that's poor quality, or using a camera that can record in HD, but only for 10 minutes at a time.
I see. And I take it the HD camera is a it's not a webcam; it's an actual camera.
Yeah.
Right, I see. And that would be for traditional work.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's like I think obviously being a school, like it's not like I think a lot of artists in this situation, they can't just go out and buy stuff. It's easy to say, oh well, why don't you just get this, but it's a case of as soon as I start shitting money, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think it's one of those cases. Would you like to do more videos in future, or is it again not something you're thinking about necessarily?
Oh no, definitely I would. It's time constraints, really.
So, what do you use to edit videos at the moment?
Windows Live Movie Maker for Windows 7.
Hey, keeping with the basics. Few people use that actually. I remember when it used to be Movie Maker like 2.8, 2.9 stuff. I loved that, and I hated it in comparison to Windows Live. But no, I got on with Windows Live. It's pretty good stuff. When you go to upload a video, now the last video you uploaded was 3 months ago. The Breakfast Club contest entry for Lemia Crescent, who is another artist on YouTube and DeviantArt, very well known, I would say, at this point. And obviously, On the Sofa owes a lot to her because she was one of the people who suggested, one of the biggest people to suggest to bring the show back. So obviously, we're always thankful to her. A very popular video, 158 views, 4 likes. That was obviously 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Would you say that the biggest? So you're saying that the biggest thing stopping with the videos is just not having the equipment you want to have right now for it, plus school.
Yep.
So, would you say that you are someone that really cares about the level of quality that they're putting out?
Yeah, because I do a lot of random pictures as well that wouldn't...
Yeah.
They're just random things that wouldn't mean anything to post.
Yeah, I mean, because I've watched your live streams. And obviously there'll be a link to your live stream in the video, in the description of the video. I've seen your live streams, and they're good quality enough. You know, we could see what you're drawing. You know, we see happily. You know, and the sound's all right. You know, everything about the live stream's fine, but those don't translate into videos onto YouTube. And I think for someone, I think it would be easy enough for you to translate that into a video, like to take what's been recorded on stream and just put it on video. But you really do care about the quality. You're not going to put up a video unless you're happy with the quality, I take it.
Yeah, I don't really want to put up live stream ones because they're not good quality, and because I move. Because I'm trying to interact with the chat, I'm moving too slow.
Oh, right.
So I'm not focused on just colouring or drawing the picture.
Do you ever feel that you're too harsh on yourself?
Possibly.
Have you ever been told that you're a bit harsh on yourself when it comes to what you deem as your quality of your live streams or something?
More the quality of my art, but yes. I've been told I'm a perfectionist.
Because honestly, I don't really have many issues with the quality of your live streams. And because I can't speak for anybody else, obviously. But I never really have an issue. I think they're pretty good, and I always enjoy them. And as for your pictures on DeviantArt, I can't really complain. You know what I mean? I think you could possibly afford to be a little bit, you know, a little bit more proud, I suppose, of your work, because I think you do a really good job. I mean, again, I appreciate that I'm not an artist, but you know, I like what I see. So, and I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, you know. But that did lead me to want to ask you a question. But before I get to all that, seeing as we're on the topic of YouTube, how about we do some YouTube questions?
Okay.
You ready to answer some questions from your adoring fans?
Yes.
So basically how this is going to work, because I have a lot of questions for you. Honest to God, was not expecting all
this many.
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of questions, but on this occasion, it just exploded. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read it. I'm going to read it as best I can down the list, trying to make much sense of it, because all the questions are kind of out of order-ish, because people have posted twice. So we're going to start with everybody's favourite, Crazy Comic Lady. Just remember, people, if you have asked a question, you will be featured in this video. People watching the video now, if you click on the avatars that come up, it will take you to the page of the person who asked a question. So there you go. Now, Crazy Comic Lady starts with Little Bra. Smiley face. Question number 1. If you could paint a whole room in your house, what would you paint on it?
Oh, a big mural to things I like. So I obviously Sonic, and then Cardcaptor Sakura and Digimon things.
Fair enough, fair enough. Digimon's one. I'm very surprised how many people like Digimon. I have to admit.
I grew up with it, and I honestly prefer it to Pokemon because because the Digimon could go back to their previous smaller evolutions.
It was like powering up to an extent. It's about it's like they could become stronger, but then over time the energy would fade.
Yeah, and I felt the connection between like the partner Digimon and humans was stronger.
I also got that the Digimon could actually speak, rather than Pokemon was just Meowth.
Yeah, that was a big plus.
Question number 2: Are you doing a Halloween picture this year?
Possibly. And if yes, it'll have to be up next week.
Well, yeah, because October 17th at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So, if you had to pick people you know off YouTube to be voice actors for a new Sonic cartoon, who would you pick for the roles of Sonic, Tails, Sally, Amy, and Dr. Robotnik?
Quite quaintly, there's actually a new Sonic CGI cartoon coming out next year called Sonic Boom.
Oh.
Although I'll link the designs, or like the preview shadow image of their shadows, and I don't like the designs of Knuckles and Sonic from the look of it.
Well, it's CGI, you always run that risk, because it's always like... I don't know, CGI seems to be one of those things that's overhyped.
But it's not even the full characters, it's the, literally shadows.
So,
But,
Sonic,
yeah,
Tails, Sally, Amy, and Robotnik.
Can I say you as Dr. Robotnik?
Woohoo!
Because I feel you'd fit the role.
Right, I'm done. Interview over. I'm off. Bye. Yeah, okay, cool.
I think Lemmy as Amy, because
Ooh.
they're both sort of,
Yeah, I could see that. I could see
in a
that.
good way, crazy.
Yeah, I could see that. And the voice as well.
And it's not Minnie Mouse like
Yeah.
Amy's new voice.
Well, we heard her sneeze before. On Skittles live stream. That was just the most adorable thing ever.
Sally. I want to say CCL, not because she's asking the question, but because I feel she'd be able to pull off that sort of princessy but tough, sort of doesn't take.
I think she's got the accent for it as well.
Yeah.
Because she's from more southern England. So
Like
therefore
myself.
yeah, so she has quite a... I would say, in comparison to a lot of people, her accent is very regalish. I mean, some people have... She's even said before, people have said she sounds like Hermione from Harry Potter. And I can see that as well, you know. So,
Yeah.
Tails.
Tails. I kind of want to say myself, because I have a sort of similar personality to Tails in some aspects.
Alright. Well, that'd be pretty cool. And Sonic.
Sonic. I want to say Fox or Skittles.
See, I was thinking Skittles. You know, because wasn't it originally done by the guy that did Steve Urkel? Like, he was the original voice actor for Sonic, wasn't he? Like the Steve Urkel guy.
Yeah, Jaleel White. I
Yeah.
believe his name was.
Yeah, but is the world ready for a Scottish hedgehog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the sort of, not so much the Scottishness, but the sort of proper sort of
I think
cool teenager,
Yeah,
but not teenager.
yeah,
twist.
I kind of think that if you have Fox, although it's funny that you didn't pick Fox for Tails.
As Tails is.
Yeah, but I think
Fox wouldn't fit Tails, he's too old.
I think if you've got Fox for Sonic, it's going to be a more serious Sonic, and I think if you've got Skittles, it's going to be
It's going to be more like benches.
yeah, which would be cool either way. I like your choices, and I like your thought process. I'm very interested that you pick yourself for Tails as well. We shall have to come back to that. Next question. Do you think you will own every single Copic marker by the end of 2014?
No. It's too costly. My family has not enough money to buy over 100 more for Christmas.
I just love the no. Very. That's what we were saying about you. You know what you're saying. Last question from CCL. If someone in your house stole one of your markers and broke it, would you bash them over the head with a frying pan?
Yes. Simply yes.
Boom. Okay. Up next, Scarlet Bead has 3 questions. Question number 1. When did you first start getting into the drawing style that you do now?
About time I started DA, really. It was really sort of the push to think, if I'm going to be posting art online, I want it to sort of be as good as I can have it.
Yeah, fair enough. Question 2. What's your favourite type of music?
Oh, I really don't mind. It depends. The only music I can't abide is rap music.
I am so with you.
Apart from Knuckles, the Echidna's theme song.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And question number 3, what's the weather like today? Dark.
It's been dark now, yeah. It's been a mix of sun, rain and cloud.
Same here. As I say, I'm not sure whereabouts of the country. I know you're south from where I am.
Same sort of vicinity as CCL.
Yeah, I'm in the north because I'm in Durham, which is near Newcastle. So I'm in the northeast of England. I'm actually apparently I'm what's known as a posh Geordie. So I sound very.
You don't sound like Ant or Dec.
No, only when I get angry. So it's like, what you talking about? You know what I mean? So, so yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. You know, one day I shall have to visit. I've got to have to visit Fox, you, and CCL. I'm not sure there's any more British people from the art community. I'll feel like shit if I've forgotten anybody. Oh well. Red Blade Avis is the next questioner. Red Blade Avis has 4 questions. Question number 1, Libra. Ooh, addresses you, very polite. Libra, what is your favourite style of art to use?
Oh, sort of manga-y, exaggerated style, because it's not flat and boring realism.
Well, the second question is, do you ever plan to make your own manga?
I have a couple of stories. One that's more a book that I'd want to write and illustrate myself, and then one that would be a manga.
Very nice. Have you got a name in mind? Is it working title kind of deal?
Oh, the manga one would be just the name of the main character.
Nice. So every time every guest we've had so far is working on a story, which I love. You know, because I'm fascinated by that kind of stuff. Being a writer, I'm fascinated when people have stories to tell. I mean, is it going to be based on like the Libra the Hedgehog characters, or something completely different, or same?
Oh no, it's just different. It's the manga idea is a magical girl sort of style one, but with the difference of it being a magical girl that wears gothic Lolita dresses rather than the cutesy fluffy.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that could be interesting. Looking forward to seeing previews of that if you ever post them.
There's page 1 of it on DeviantArt.
I'm going to find it. I'll link it in the description of the video as well. Number 3, if you could only use one medium, which would it be and why?
Just one on its own. Graphite pencil.
Oh wow.
Just graphite pencil on its own if it had to be just one.
I think with that
most
one,
expressive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably would have expected Copic, but yeah, very, fair enough. Question number 4, it's the last question from Red Bliss Davis. If you were forced to have a scary movie marathon with one of your YouTube artist buddies, who would it be and why?
Skittles, because they'd be able to make fun of it.
They add, this is great, can't wait to see the interview, stay cool fellow Libra. Speaking of which, our next set of questions cover Magic Tablet Skittles.
Hello, Skittles.
So here we go, question number 1. Libra. How many Copics did Steve have to bribe you with to get you to talk? Wait, what?
Absolutely none, Skittles. I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely. Don't know how you have the temerity to make such an accusation. You know, if he just happens to have extra Copics after the interview, that's nothing to do with me.
There's no connection whatsoever.
Just to be horrible, I might link your avatar to somebody else's page. Up next, question 2. Are you actually speaking right now, or have you manifested your conscience into a physical form just to amuse us?
Of course I'm speaking. My consciousness can't just manifest. It's impossible.
Yeah, Skittles.
It defies science.
Yeah, Skittles, you doofus. Question 3. When did you first outsmart physics?
What are you talking about? Physics outsmarts me all the time.
It's like, have you seen my GCSEs?
Physics is my lowest. Physics is the one that I got a C on the mock.
4. Darn it, talk!
I am.
5. No, really talk! Totally not typing this as I'm watching the interview, but going back in time, typing this exact sentence to persuade you to talk, and trying to cover up the fact that I am now indeed typing while watching this video. When you built,
if you're watching this already, where are you?
You could say, typing while watching this video, when you built your first supercomputer at the age of 2, what inspired you to make it? So, when you built your first supercomputer at the age of 2, Libra, what inspired you to do it?
Skittles. Your ridiculousness amuses me.
I want that on a t-shirt. Skittles, your ridiculousness amuses me. 7. Question 7. You know what? I got nothing. Shrug shoulders. Now stay awesome, Libra. And I'm not saying that like a request. Stay awesome or else.
I shall.
For fuck's sake, Skittles, man. I'm sorry I said that word, but God damn it, man. Only you can make me lose it, Skittles. For God's sake. I'll have to make him a co-host. This is going to have to be the way. Okay, up next is XX take X my X hand XX. I'm supposing that should be read as take my hand, but there's so many X's in there, and it would be a shame to not include them. So, 3 questions from Take My Hand. Question number 1. Have you ever made a big group picture of various or all Sonic characters?
Yes, my 20th anniversary picture was a Sonic, Tails, Amy and Knuckles, so yes.
Is it on DivvyNut?
Yep.
Then I'll link it. Question number 2. What are some things that inspire you? So we talked before about music and stuff like that. Anything else that inspires you?
Music, others' art, and I guess books I read. I don't copy, but I sort of look at an idea and think, that's cool, but how could it be done in a different way?
Very nice. Question number 3. I might know the answer to this. What is your favourite anime?
Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yes, that was right.
And it's just amazing, and I know people like CCL and Itari say the style is old, but it's beautiful looking. Have you seen the illustrations?
Have you seen them? They are awesome.
Indeed.
I remember watching it a long time ago and just not really getting behind the story. I would probably get behind it now that I'm a little bit older and can appreciate what's going on. So I'll have to
I can explain the story in a nutshell.
That's the thing. You know stuff. And it's like, this is why you're the wise Libra of the mountain. Because you just know stuff. It's like I go into a stream talking about Sonic and you're like, oh yeah, and it's just like, he knows. And then it's like, I could be talking about, this is a fountain of knowledge. I remember one time I was asking how do you pronounce Sakura and the Sakura and others. You knew what I was asking, and I could tell the way you were pronouncing it by the way you type it. It was like, this guy knows everything when it comes to like stuff. Yeah, where were you when I was doing exams, you prick? I could have had your help.
The emphasis on Sakura is the well, not harsh, but proper emphasis on the SA and then fast on the Sakura.
God damn it! This is why you are the wise man. You are the wise Libra of the mountain. Okay. Up next we have questions from Caitlin Draws Manga.
Ooh.
Question 1: How long have you been drawing manga?
Properly, I'd say maybe 5 years or so, and then just generally maybe 10 or 13.
How did you learn to draw manga as a second question? That's a good question. How did you learn?
Watching it and just...
So copy what you see, basically, to begin with.
Not copy, because I never...
Well...
I'm not one of those people that copied out illustrations. I just looked at the character and redrew it in a different pose and whatever. Oh,
so basically, rather than like copying a technique, you basically just tried to replicate the same style that was in front of you, but with your own twist.
Yeah.
So right, yeah, that's fair enough.
My manga style is quite heavily influenced by Clamp that made Cardcaptor Sakura.
That's really cool. I think that's generally the question that everyone gets asked is how did you start with the style that you did, and it's pretty cool. I mean, to hear that. So as you would look at a picture like of the manga, and like, right, I want to try and redo that, but I'm not just going to draw the pose that they're doing. I'm going to do it different, but try to keep within that same style.
Yep.
That
same with Sonic style.
Yeah. So I mean, that to me that seems impressive, because for me, I would like. I mean, you've seen my fucking animals. I used a reference picture for them, and I pretty much copied what I saw, whilst trying to add my little touches there. The idea of somebody going, okay, I'm going to do that, but a completely different pose. It's just like, but you can't see it. How can you do it? So that's impressive to me. There's probably
imagination.
Well, like I said, there might be people right now listening to me going, "You moron." But yeah, I'm used to it. Okay, Caitlin asks, "What is your favourite food?" Let me guess, chili dogs.
I wish no. Burgers and chips.
Ooh, nice.
Or Toad and Hole.
Toad in the Hole. For anybody that doesn't know what Toad in the Hole is, maybe the Americans, it's it's sausage and Yorkshire puddings. And if you don't know what Yorkshire pudding is, oh, God bless Yorkshire. Yeah, Toad in the Hole, very nice. When it comes to the burgers, do you have a preference, like a style of burger? Like no preference, as long as it's a burger.
Yeah. Actually, no onions.
See, good lad. See, for me, I make my own burgers at home. It's
that's what we do.
But it's like I get the mincemeat, I cut up the bacon, and I put it in the meat with some grated cheese. So rather than having like a burger that puts some bacon on and then some cheese, the bacon cheeseburger is the actual meat itself. And then you get more in for a start, and it's just all that flavour. It's like nom 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 nom. Last question from Kaylin is, what is your favourite sandwich?
Because I'm a fussy eater, just butter. Just butter.
I want to try a victory sandwich.
That would be cool.
Yes, I just want to climb the mountain. You're already on top of the mountain, though, so you should have one already. You're already there, sir. Alright, well, thank you very much for those questions, Caitlin. Up next, Sapphire Star 9145, who says, okay, here are my questions. Smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. Question number 1. What is the funniest thing ever? And yes, I will continue to ask everyone this. I will never stop until every single human being knows what the funniest thing ever is. So.
Nice, Sappy. I'm not going to make up a big story like Skittles. I'm just going to say the bad jokes are so bad they're funny.
Oh, right, yeah. Like ring ring, ring ring. So it's like knock knock, who's there? Me, your doorbell's broken, kind of shit. Just jokes which everyone should be like, oh, for God's sake. But they do laugh at.
Yeah, knock knock, who's there? Doctor Who, you just said it.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. I do love stuff like that. I mean, my dad is a master of them. He is the pun master, and he's a git for it. He's one of those. Yeah, so I know what you mean very well. Question number 2. How long are you able to sit down and draw before you stop? Like, how long until you get bored and decide to continue it later?
Generally, I'm not stopping because I want to. I'm stopping because I have to do other stuff. If I'm working on a piece, I try and work on it start to finish.
Oh, well. Do you ever find that... What's more likely to happen? You having to stop because your hand won't let you draw anymore, or because you're like, okay, I'm kind of bored doing this now? What's more likely to happen first? Basically,
my hand.
Wow, so you're more likely to be forced to stop rather than actually getting bored with the current project. Oh, I think that's a good thing, obviously. Question 3. If you could meet any anime character in real life, which character and why?
Sakura Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura, because she is so cute and adorable.
What he said. Question 4. Will you draw Safi?
You shall see in the future.
That's it for now, they say. Thank you very much, Sapphire Star 9145. Up next, it's Mimi XX2 who says, "Yay, question time." Question number 1. Why did you name yourself Libra on YouTube?
Partly because it's obviously my character's name and because it's my star sign.
Okay. So you're a Libra. Oh, right, okay. I would have thought it was just related to the character, but that's cool to know.
My birthday is right in the middle of the time.
Right. Question number 2. Who's your favourite Sonic character? Examples: game character, TV series. So I think the first... I'm going to split this to 2 questions, if I may. First question, which is your favourite iteration of Sonic?
Video games.
Okay, cool. The second, who's your favourite Sonic character? And I'm going to say that isn't Sonic the Hedgehog. Out of all the... Yeah, so obviously, your favourite Sonic is from the game series. Which is your favourite Sonic the Hedgehog character that isn't Sonic, but it could be from any of the mediums?
I'm going to be controversial and I'll say Amy Rose.
I know why that's controversial. A lot of Sonic fans may not. So a lot of people who aren't Sonic fans won't know why. But Amy's always been argued as that she's potentially one of the most annoying characters.
Annoying,
right?
crazy stalker, won't leave Sonic alone, blah blah blah.
See, for me, Tails in Sonic 2 is the most annoying character. That purely for the special stage.
Oh yes, those were annoying.
Bloody stupid.
Because if you're on one player alone, he would do nothing and lose your rings.
Oh yeah, and because there was that delay between the things. Where if it's 2-player, but the other guy's got free control. But if it's 1-player and you've got Tails with you, there's a delay in your action. So you're trying to avoid the bombs, and bang, he's for God's sake. But yeah, that is quite a controversial. And then for me, second place is the French guy from Sonic Sat-Am. He's like, could we surrender now? I can't remember his name, but I hated him. I always wanted him to be roboticized as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, I'd say Amy's my favourite apart from Sonic because, well, within the game, she's the only character that would fit as being his girlfriend, and because I tend to feel she's, apart from 2 games, she's not a stalker.
To be do you think there could be a potential to redo her character somewhat better?
If they went back to the idea from Sonic Adventure 1 where it was she was going to make a fresh start and stop being a girly girl, yes.
Yeah, it seems to be like an unfair thing she's kind of been roped with to be the annoying stalker, when really there are more annoying characters than bloomin' Amy. There are far more annoying characters. I remember at one point, Tails was the most hated. Like, people were like, oh my god, I can't stand Tails. Then that died, and Tails became like a fan favourite. I don't know how.
Tails was like, oh my god, he's so adorable, oh my god, I love Tails.
Yeah. But that's why I've elected to kill him in my story. It's just like, yeah, I want you guys to hate me. But yeah. But I always thought that Sally might have been a candidate for the most annoying. Because I found her annoying, but I could see why people would find her. But no, she seems to have
loved more than me sometimes.
Yeah. I think the only
or you get this Sally haters that hate Amy, that are Amy fans, or the Amy haters that are Sally fans.
Yeah, I think the only people that really hate Sally are people who don't get, like, people who have seen furry for the first time in their lives. Anthropomorphic
and
animals.
then look at Sally because she doesn't look like a Sonic character.
Yeah, they're just like, oh my god, but it's like, this is weird. It's like, well, don't watch it then, numbnuts. Last question from Mimi is, how did you get into the drawing style you have today? You kind of answered that one, I feel. Yeah. But yeah. We carry on, sorry.
Just sort of looking and developing.
Did you think when you first started that you'd still be doing it in 2013, or did you not really think about it that way?
I don't know if I thought about it, I just always drew.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for that, Mimi. We're now going on to the last set of questions. And it's from Fox of Nightmares. So we're going to end with Fox and Nightmares. I like to point out that the second question he asks is supported by Drawing with Waffles, who says that I've been wondering for quite some time about it now. So his second question has the Drawing with Waffles stamp of approval. So it must be a good question. So question number 1. Tell us, Libra, how do you like your waffles?
Depends. If it's potato waffles, I like them
Bird's potato waffles, waffly versatile.
style. If it's potato waffles, I like them not crispy but not underdone. And if it's wheat waffles, soft but crunchy and covered in honey.
Nice. I should point out that Waffles seconded that question. I misread it completely. And to be fair, I'm surviving on Pepsi right now. Because it's been one of those days. But yes, obviously, here's that question. Basically, the sentence reads, I second question 1, but I read that as I've been wondering about the second question for ages. So my apologies, Waffles. Yeah. I'll feature you as well in this video, seeing as you linked to a question. So you'll get a nice little thing there. Question number 2. Oh yeah, well,
she's funny and weird and crazy and cool.
I'll tell you what I do with my waffles. I tend to because normally I have them with something else. It usually involves frying, so I'll put them in the frying pan a little bit, because it's not going to cook it, but it just hards the outside a bit, and then I put them in the oven, and that kind of helps it keep it crisp on the outside, so it doesn't go soft or soggy. That's how I do mine. So then, then what I like to have a fried egg on top of it, and if I'm not having a fried egg, I put cheese on it. So it's either have a fried egg or I have melted cheese on my waffles. It is amazing.
Interesting.
Question number 2. I've heard you have no deep dark secrets. Is this true? Not at all?
None.
Well, if you did, you wouldn't say it, would you?
No. They'd be deep dark. They wouldn't.
Yeah. So really...
Fox, you silly fox.
Yeah, so really, we still don't know. So, Fox, your move.
I'm reminded of Yu-Gi-Oh now.
Yugi. I have no deep dark secrets. So far as you know. My blue eyes white dragon might. Question number 3. What's your favourite number?
7.
So I just choked on my Pepsi there. Yes. Funny enough, one of your videos. Question number 4.
777 views.
Boom! Last question from the fans. And I think this is a good one to finish on with the fan questions. It's a big one. So really think about this one. If you had to be a Sonic character and live in the Sonic universe as that character, which one would you be and why?
Oh. I'm gonna take that not as Sonic and as anyone else.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that as Tails.
Well, you did say your personalities kind of match, but...
Yeah.
Dude, so that's actually what I was going to get back to. So thank you, Fox, for being brilliant and leading us back into this. What similarities do you see between you and Tails?
Sort of the naive person that sort of is quite intelligent and wants to do their best they can.
Yeah. Although the difference is you won't run into bombs when you're in the special stage.
No.
Well, thank you guys for all those questions. Everyone that asked a question, and yes, even you, Drawing with Waffles, will be featured in that segment. So if you're watching the video, just remember you can go back, click on the avatars as they appear, and you'll be taken to their YouTube page where you can check out all their videos. So getting back on track here. Obviously, you are, if I may say so, I think you might be one of the most genuinely... just genuinely nice people I've had a chance to speak to.
Thank you.
you are very, very polite. You're very... I would say that you're quite sensible as well. I mean, I think you do have a well-deserved reputation for being the guy that knows what he's saying. He can be very concise, and yet you are quite polite, you know. And you seem to have this very humble nature about yourself as well. Where would you say? I mean, growing up, would you say that, you know, growing up you had a pretty good, like, kind of like good life? You know, you brought up well. Would you say that? Would you say that just you were always a nice enough guy, or were manners kind of taught to you? You know, basically, how the hell do you create someone that is as nice and as intelligent and yet humble as Libra? How the hell do you get this? Wise man of the mountain.
Going from being a very rowdy, misbehaved child in years, like reception, through to years about 5, and then having high school thrust upon you in year 7.
Alright. So, you were a bit rowdy at first, and then you were calmed down, basically.
Yeah.
That actually surprises me. That really does. I mean, but that's cool, you know. You've been on the wild side, and then you calm down, and I think that's going to surprise a lot of people.
Really?
But in a really good way. So what's in the future? I mean, you're young, very young. You've got the whole world ahead of you. Obviously, your GCSEs will be coming to an end in 2014 or 2015.
Yeah, in 2014, in
July?
June.
Oh, June. Oh, wow. So June 2014, your GCSEs are going to come to an end, and I've got all the confidence in the world in you to pass them. And obviously, you got the summer holidays.
Yeah.
What are your plans starting from the summer holidays onwards at this point? Because obviously you're not going to have every day planned, but what kind of things would you like to be looking into at that point?
More art, more videos, and developing my own skills.
And in terms of, break this down, DeviantArt, what are your plans when it comes to DeviantArt over the next few years?
Post more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've sort of come at a block of not posting for months.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, interact with people more, maybe.
And obviously you said with regards to YouTube, maybe post some videos when you've got the equipment that you're happy with, do the work.
Yep.
Okay, and probably the last question is, in regards to the future plans. When it comes to your own artwork, your style, the mediums you use, the materials you use, where do you want to be 1 year from now? If we were to have you on the show next year on October 17th, 2014, where do you want to be with your art? What kind of stuff do you want to be doing with your art? Do you have a dream project in mind, or is it just a case of developing your current skill level?
Generally developing, and maybe having started, say, the manga idea or the story idea.
It'd be fantastic to see that. Question I ask everyone that's on the show. If you could see anybody being interviewed on this show next, who would you like to see interviewed?
Lemmy.
Lemmy. Now there's a name that's cropped up a few times. Lemmy would be a very interesting person to have on the show. A very, very popular person. I mean, what was it, like over 5,000 subscribers or something like that?
Something ridiculous.
Incredible, like something incredible for an artist, I think. Definitely would like to interview her. I haven't asked her yet. But I know she's been busy, but definitely going to be asking her at some point if she'd like to be on. That would be really cool. Finally, will we be seeing you on the show again sometime in the future?
Possibly. I don't mind.
I sincerely hope so, sir. Libra, it's been absolutely fantastic having you on the show, and honestly, I think I've learned a lot more about you on the show. Very surprised about some of the things I've heard, and I also agree with you on a lot of things you've said. Is there anything you want to say to the people listening to the show right now?
Thank you for the support and being nice in general.
Well, I think, again, you're just a nice lad. God damn it, you're a nice lad. You're a canny bloke, as we say up in the north. No, not many people know what that means, but I assure you, he is the most canniest of blokes. I swear it to you. I just want to remind you guys that you can access all of the online profiles of Libra. You know, all the links are in the description of the video. A link to his DeviantArt, a link to his YouTube, a link to his live stream. It's all there. Check out his stuff. And, you know, show the guy some love, and, you know, subscribe if you like what he does, you know, and, you know, see, he's laughing about it now. He's good. Check out his stuff. And remember, guys, you can always check out all the stuff on the Wonder Productions. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on DeviantArt. You can follow me on pretty much Tumblr, Instagram, everywhere via Steve Jones 313. I think you can work out the links for yourself. And remember that if you want to be on the show, or if you want to ask a question for the show, or if you want to contact me for any reason in regards to On the Sofa, dstevejones313@hotmail.co.uk is the place to send your email addresses. Like I said, I interview pretty much everyone, so there's no harm in sending me an email if you want to be on. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next guest on the Sofa. But for now, it leaves me to say thank you very much, Libra, for being on the show.
You're welcome.
I look forward to the next time we get to speak. We'll probably now go back to Magic Tablet Skittles, stream and invade. So yeah, from Libra the Hedgehog, from Steve Jones 313, thank you very much. Until next time.
Bye.